Snapping up desert land in Arizona to build your own houses forum. Fed up with expensive rent and unaffordable housing, young Americans are devising new ways to put a roof over their heads. Gen Z and millennials have taken to building their own homes on cheap plots of desert land dotted across the Southwest. Among them is 30-year-old Sean Gatz, who in May bought a 1.15-acre plot a 30 minutes drive from Tucson, Arizona, for $11,000. The 38-year-old gave up his life in San Francisco and spent the cash he had saved up on some arid land in Joshua Tree, a 2.5-hour drive outside of Los Angeles. Gatz considered taking out a construction loan but so far has been able to fund his project entirely through revenue he has generated through social media, on which he has uploaded a video series documenting his build. When I first got there I was living out of my van. After his first, Martinez has since built a number of houses in Joshua Tree. Now he runs an Airbnb business renting them out to visitors of the national park. Gatz, in Arizona, said he loves his life outside of Tucson, but it hasn't been without challenges. It's very hard style of life. Especially over the summer, the heat was brutal. I was sleeping outside under a canopy for 4 months, he said. It's scary, but you just keep plodding along. There's no rush, just go at your own pace and 1 foot in front of the other, he added. It's not easy but it's an adventure. Netizen 1. Bought 20 acres in the southwest USA for $250 per acre in a relatively isolated and remote area. There is a town of about 500 to 600 about a 25 to 30 minute drive that has all the basics, hardware store, post office, small grocery store, gas station, etc., and a larger, but still small town, like 7,000 people I think, an hour or so in another direction. Even though there is no local utility services for power or water. Even though there is 0 cell phone signal, there is a fiber internet line that runs near the property. There is a networking POP building for the local ISP not even 1/4 mile away and their buried fiber line borders the property and the local ISP has confirmed a stupid low install fee. Because I work from home, the internet availability is the only thing that is making this worthwhile for me. So, right now there is nothing. Just a couple wild burros living on the property and some normal desert brush. Later this year I'll be having a small 10 by 20 cabin delivered that I will, roughly, finish out. I'll be applying a thick radiant barrier paint to the exterior to reflect that awful heat. We'll be insulating the interior and doing a rough interior finish. Not gonna be fancy because it's just gonna be me, a cat, and a dog. It's a temporary shelter. 200 SQ/FT itself isn't very large but this home is temporary. It will have an outdoor bathroom and shower so most of the space will be dedicated to an office, sleeping and storage. Most of the cooking will be done outside as well as I don't want to heat the house up with a propane stove to cook a steak or eggs. This is a temporary home base until I can finish a earthbag home elsewhere on the property. The earthbag home will be larger, but still modest in size. About 600 SQ/FT. There is no shortage of sun in this region and it's rated very highly for its solar efficiency and will be powered via solar though will be supplemented, lightly, by the presence of a small wind turbine just for some nighttime charging when capable. Water isn't that bad of an issue in all reality. Most folks in the region simply collect the rainwater. On the roof of a 200 SQ/FT cabin I could expect to collect over 1,000 gallons a year, give or take, based on the average rainfall of the area and factoring in loss of efficiency. This isn't very much in the grand scheme of things and plan on installing, at minimum, 2 1,500-gallon tanks for water catchment. One I will pay to have filled with nearby well water, too deep to drill in my area and the water is salty/not that good anyhow, and the other will be left to collect rainfall. The total that I can harvest will increase significantly once the earthbag house is completed with its larger roof/catchment area. Proper homesteading of the land will actually be a bit limited but, I am planning on raising some animals eventually. The big thing I want to do is have a raised bed greenhouse. Have had success in the past growing in the desert everything from tomatoes to corn, spinach to lettuce in a different region and look forward to growing some good food there as well. Anyhow, I'm excited to be moving forward with this. If you would have asked me when I was 18 years old, where I'd be when I was 25, I'd have told you I'd be doing something similar to this. That was always the idea. Having just turned 27, I didn't meet the deadline, so to speak, but I'm going to be turning 28 on my homestead, so that's pretty cool. I work for a largish IT company from home and manage some of my own projects on the side, so this is possible due to the internet access that is available to me, partly due to luck, as otherwise I would be limited to very costly, slow, and unstable satellite internet, which would likely result in me being unable to effectively do my work from home. Netizen 2. You'll be needing more water, even only for your own consumption. There are often water delivery companies who can bring by thousands of gallons. I wouldn't suggest getting 1,000 at a time for drinking, as it starts to taste funny after a while. It picks up taste from the air and container. Even with 3,000 gallons, you'll have an incredibly difficult time. Arizona averages 100 gallons per person per day. Trying to live on 10 gallons of water a day is going to be difficult, even if you get creative with recycling. But good luck. I'm interested in how you accomplish this. Another piece of advice: skip the wind turbine. Desert areas often do not get enough wind to make it worthwhile. Most turbines want to start at 10 to 15 miles per hour to produce a tiny amount of energy. In many desert areas the wind is far lower, 6 mph or less, with spikes during storms to 100 miles per hour or so. Trouble is, the lightweight turbines get destroyed in the higher winds. Instead, I suggest investing in more batteries, a few additional solar panels, which you can manually rotate to face the sun, or even a small generator. Netizen 3. I would consider rehoming your cat before you move out there. I know that is a difficult thought, but keeping cats in the desert is hard. The coyotes think they're delicious, and they can't be confined as easily as small livestock, like chickens. When I lived in suburban West Texas, cats that roamed at night tended to go missing, and my friend who lives in very rural NM has stopped getting cats because every one she has had over a period of years has disappeared, and it broke her heart. She brought them in every night. Her SO's an expert shot, and she always has 2 to 3 cat-friendly big dogs, but she still had horrible luck. Something to think about.